Pokémon Legends Z-A has released, and one of the aspects people were most looking forward to was the reintroduction of Mega Evolution, a fan favorite feature from Pokémon X and Y that's been gone for over 10 years. And with that reintroduction comes a number of new Mega Evolutions. Some are great, some are terrible, and some are absolute nightmare fuel. And so with the game being out for a week, I wanted to rank each and every one of the new Mega Evolutions. Now remember, this is my opinion, feel free to have a different opinion. Oh, and a spoiler warning, I guess. Starting off in last place here, I put Excadrill. Now Excadrill is an awesome looking design. I mean, one of the first Pokemon from Unova to get a Mega Evolution. Yeah, this is genuinely terrible.
What is that?
I don't care if this thing has a high attack stat or could destroy anything. They really just took Excadrill and made his drills longer and called it a day. And so while it hurts me to do this, I need to put him in Z tier. Moving on to the next Pokemon, we have, Starmie. I genuinely hate looking at this thing. It might be my least favorite Pokemon design ever, but I wanted to move it higher than Excadrill only because I like the memes, and also because this thing is genuinely terrifying. It runs at you on both legs, and while that may seem silly and goofy, its Pokédex entry is another story. Whether it's simply trying to communicate or wants to supplant humanity is unclear. Yeah, no, I'm out of here. I hate looking at it, and considering it's trying to become human, I guess that's kind of the point. And for that, it can move just above last place. The next Pokemon I have here is also the first shiny I found in the game. Mega Pyroar genuinely looks so stupid. I understand what they were going for, having the fire kanji go into the flame kanji as its main is a pretty cool idea, but in execution, this thing looks so goofy. And the top half low-key looks like Shadow the Hedgehog. Imagine going to the barber and you walk out with this. Yeah, I'd never return. You can go chill right here in the bottom of D tier. Keeping in company, I have Mega Zygarde. While this thing is hilarious to just go and absolutely nuke people with a laser beam, and it's definitely only made like this because of the story, I think this has to be the worst out of all the Zygarde designs by a good bit. Dog Zygarde, Snake Zygarde, and Perfect Zygarde are all much better than this. I know what they were trying to do with bro stopping the ultimate weapon, but when you're perfect, yeah, there's no reason to go back. D tier. Up next, I have Mega Skarmory. Now I actually like this design. The colors are sick and Skarmory is a pretty well designed Pokemon, but this thing looks more like a shiny than a further evolution. I mean seriously, if we revert the colors, he just looks like a slightly sharper Skarmory with bigger feet. And for that reason, I don't think he can move any higher than the bottom of D tier. Not bad, just super lazy. The return of AZ's Floette is awesome, and the idea of this second stage Pokemon not only having a move that can vaporize your opponent, but also getting a Mega Evolution is pretty cool. Yeah, Florges might as well just not exist at this point. But on that note, I can't stop looking at this thing and seeing an umbilical cord attached to it. And the more I look at it, the more I really don't like that. And so while I think it's awesome for AZ's Floette to have a Mega, I'd rather keep away from it. It can go right at the bottom of C tier here. Now moving on, I am a Johto defender till I die. Terrible level curve? Yes please. But as someone that actually likes Meganium, yeah, I don't know what this is. They really couldn't do anything better than layer more flowers. Seriously, not even having a leaf horn like Bayleaf as a callback or something. There are tons of fan Mega Evolutions that do this so much better, but I guess at least they didn't make this thing look genuinely hideous, so I can give it towards the bottom of C tier as well. Joining its fellow Johto starter is Feraligatr. Now I love Feraligatr. I mean, what other Pokemon was caked up for no reason on the GBA? But this thing just having a larger Totodile hoodie over its head is weird. This evolution doesn't look too great design wise, but I do like his battling animation, and the fact that the head resembles a Totodile is a nice touch, I guess. I just feel that they could have done more, going for another alligator type design. And with that, I think it can earn a spot right here in the middle of C tier. And honestly, considering Typhlosion is one of my favorite Pokemon, aside from his devious crimes, I can't say that I'm sad he's missing out on a Mega Evolution, considering what they did to the other Johto starters. Now finally, clearing off the C tier, I have Mega Phalanx. Now before people come at me, I think this thing is really funny. The fact that they're all standing like a Megazord formation is pretty awesome, but the designs really aren't very evolution-like. And so while it's goofy to look at, I don't think it's anything more than that. Embor's Mega is something that I feel should look awesome. The 2D fan art I see makes it look so cool, but this 3D model really isn't doing him any justice. The fire staff is awesome, and I like that he looks more like this knight sort of thing. And so I think overall his design is pretty well done. Along with that shiny, yeah, he can sneak right into the bottom of B tier. Next up, I have Mega Greninja. And look, I know you saw the thumbnail. I know what people are thinking. This is one of my favorite Mega Evolutions in terms of design, and that's probably because the base form of Greninja is one of the best designed Pokemon ever. But despite how cool it is to lean more into the shinobi aesthetic by making him black, the fact he spends the whole time aura farming upside down makes him look so stupid. You wanna know how you fix this? Bam. A tier Mega Evolution. Another reason I think that B tier works is that the design changes aside from the color aren't too noticeable from base Greninja. The headpiece definitely looks cooler, but the body is mainly the same, just with black pieces. Also, I mean, come on. As much as I wish they did, I personally don't think they topped Ash Greninja with this. And for that, I can't move it any higher than B tier. Mega Hawlucha is the next Pokemon I have in B tier. While the design is pretty awesome and leans even further into the luchador aesthetic, the additional mask and slightly longer wings just aren't enough of a design change for me to move him to be with the greater Megas. So I think he deserves right here in the B tier. Mega Dragonite was probably my most conflicting Mega. I saw people who loved this thing and people who hated it. While supposedly mimicking Dragonair, the tail being that high looks weird in his 3D model, and the forehead wings would look better on his back. Still solid overall, and I think it deserves to be right here in the middle at B tier. Now Mega Electros is a pretty awesome Pokemon. I think the white looks great, even if it's made out of mucus for some reason. The side cannons are super awesome as an idea. And I have one really small gripe that holds this thing back for me, and it's that I just don't think Electros is a Pokemon that looks better in 3D than he did back in 2D. I don't think his design is bad here at all, but I just don't think it's better than the ones we have coming up. So he can go right beside Dragonite in B tier. Next is Mega Scrafty. Yeah, this thing in the leaks had people losing their minds. I mean, the description of him makes him resemble, certain clubs that I wouldn't want to be a part of. And Game Freak just so happened to make him super effective against dark types. Diabolical. In the actual game though, Scrafty leaning more into the thug scene looks absolutely fire. I love the fact that it has ripped pants and is wearing a hoodie. I don't know why they chose white, but I think it's a solid design that puts him near the top of B tier. And now at the top of B tier, Mega Malabar hypnotized all of Pokemon social media for a week, and this has to be one of the Megas that they got the most creative with. I think the ink pen idea here is pretty awesome. I like the colors, and the whole lead up to its reveal was great to see. While it isn't top tier for me, I think it holds up super well and has earned its place at the top of B tier. Now moving into the A tier, the first Pokemon I have is Mega Frostlass. Frostlass is based on the Japanese folklore of the Yuki Onna, or the Snow Woman. And while I'm not a Frostlass fan, making it longer actually works super well here, as the folklore actually has the Yuki Onna be 10 feet tall as she appears in the blizzard. I also think the design suits Frostlass super well, and so I think it deserves to be up here in the bottom of A tier. Though I will say, this thing along with Excadrill, Starmie, and Pyroar are Mega Evolutions that remind me more of Gigantamax forms than Megas. Next, I have Mega Raichu X. I think it's interesting both Raichu X and Y have aspects of both Pikachu and Raichu mixed in, but I personally think this is the weaker of the two. I think they did well with his design here. The lighter colors and the big ears are interesting. I think getting rid of his tail between the two was definitely a misstep, but the X design still looks awesome, and I'm excited to see it in the Mega Dimension DLC. Mega Clefable perfectly embodies the fairy aesthetic, and I don't really have much to say past that. I think when I'll think of fairy Pokemons, this is what I'm gonna see. I can see the people that love cute sparkly Pokemon eating this one up. Very solid and definitely an A tier. Barbarico had no reason to be posted up like this. Seriously, the fact that this thing resembles some religious statue and it's just casually sitting here hitting the Frieza pose made me love what they did with this thing. The arms look awesome and the extra heads make him look so much more intimidating. It's a great design for a Pokemon that I've never actually cared about. Next up, I have Mega Dragalge. Now Dragalge isn't a Pokemon I ever cared for, but I genuinely think out of all the Mega Evolutions that they gave here, this is the one that truly feels the most like an evolution. Many of the others look like alternate forms you would see, but this really feels like a step up from Dragalge. I love the horns here, and the whole flowing headpiece looks great. I wouldn't keep this thing on my team, but I can see why everyone loves the design. Now rounding off the top of A tier, I have Mega Victory Bell. It looks absolutely hilarious, and the fact that they hid this whole horror themed short as setup was great. This thing has a silly smile on its face even though it's on the verge of blowing up, and it just makes me like him more. I think it's a goofy Mega done right. And now moving on to the 6 Mega Evolutions that I think are the best that we have. Starting at the bottom of S tier, I love Mega Raichu Y. The ears and the big Pikachu tail, I like that it has both the aspects of Pikachu and Raichu here, and that if you combine X and Y, you basically get the Beta Gorochu design that used to be there. This might be my bias, but I'm definitely going to have to put this thing on my team when I go through the Mega Dimensions DLC. Next, I have Mega Scolipede. Scolipede leaning into this armored racehorse kind of vibe looks absolutely awesome. The armor and the big neon horns make this thing one of the best bug Pokemon, and they somehow elevated it even further. I think this thing getting a speed reduction when it was an absolute monster before is a travesty. Regardless, this is a top 5 Mega Evolution for sure in this game. S tier. Chestnut has had the glow up of the century. Seriously, this thing looks like royalty and moved further from its tank sort of visual. I honestly love it. The crown on its head, the dual shields, and the red cape really bring this whole thing together. Cooladin still sucks, but this took Chestnut from what was probably my least favorite final grass evolution to a design that I really like. S tier. And now for the top 3. Yeah, Drampa is a Pokemon that I usually forget exists. I mean, it's Drampa. But my god, they took this Zen Ghibli looking dragon and made this thing look intimidating as hell. He looks like he's ready to brawl with storm clouds on the side of his body, and he really reminds me of Shenron. I actually wanted to have one of these things on my team, which is something that I never thought I'd say for Drampa. Probably the biggest upgrade on this list. Next up, I have Mega Chandelure. Now Chandelure is already a top tier design, so how do you really improve upon it? Well, clearly just add another tier to the chandelier. I don't really know if there was another way they could even go for this design, but considering how great Chandelure is in the first place, this Mega still holds up extremely well, and just keeps it in the S tier while adding something new. And now for the number 1. Yeah, it's Mega Delphox. When I first started thinking about this list, I honestly didn't expect it, but this has to be one of the best Mega designs we've ever had. The colors look absolutely awesome, and as someone who doesn't like Delphox much at all, the fact that this thing is as good as it is really surprises me. They let her fly on the broomstick like it's a hoverboard, and the little flying fire wand is a great choice. This thing is peak and deserves its spot at the top of S tier. And with that, this is my final ranking for the Mega Evolutions in Legends Z-A. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts below. Who knows, maybe I'll rank the shiny forms next. That's all from me, see ya.